Hi everyone, welcome back to video 3 in the beginners Ableton Live course. The first video that we done was around building up an initial idea, 8 to 16 bar loop, where all the elements come together and more or less sound like the drop within the full track. The second video then, we took that idea and we started to tell a bit of a story with it, and that was all around the arrangement. Now that is where we left off in the last video, and this video what we're going to look at is around the mix down and maybe a quick master at the end and exporting that out. So let's jump right in. This is where we were last week. Okay, so we have 3 minutes worth there, which is enough in today's society, as everyone's attention spans are getting a little bit shorter. It's a perfect sort of radio ready mix. So what we're going to do is we're going to mix this down, and first things first, what I'm going to do is tab across to my mixer section, hit Control A to select all tracks apart from the side chain there. So what I'm going to do is hold down Control again and select that track, and that will deselect that, and we'll just bring all those tracks right down, okay, to the bottom. And then when we play it again, nothing's coming out, which is great. So we've started with that mixer right down to the bottom, and we're going to take the most important elements in a dance track are the kick and the bass. Those are the two elements that make people dance in the club, so it's important that we sort of get the levels of those right first and foremost. So we're going to start with the most important, and that's going to be the kick drum. I'm going to drag that to the very top, and I'm also going to loop this section here. Just to zoom in for you. I'm going to loop this section here. Hit Control L, and that will just loop that section over and over again. We can start mixing those elements in. If it starts to get busier, we'll move further down the timeline just when we get to some of the other parts within the mix. So let's tab back and listen to the kick drum. I'm going to hit play. I sort of like to have it hitting in and around -12 there, and the reason for that is, I'm just going to pop that side chain up to 0 actually, and the reason that I do bring it down from 0, obviously 0 still sounds powerful, it still sounds good, but I bring it down to around -12 so that it allows us a little bit more headroom as we're starting to mix along and more elements come in. We still have headroom to boost that kick later on if we want a little bit more of that kick drum in the track. And not only that, as we talked about in the last video, everything filters out the master channel. We don't want it going above 0 in this stage. So as that's playing, the next most important element would be the bass. So let's bring that up. And I'm going to tab back again, and we're just going to start bringing in that bass. And just as that's playing, I might just throw an EQ over that and see if we can shape that sound a little bit more. Hopefully you can hear that. If you can't, you'll hear it on a good set of headphones. If I boost that again, it's very distorted, bit of saturation on that sound, but just darkening that down a little bit. I wonder if we can add a bit more. Okay, just a little bit more on the kick drum, I think. Just turn that off now. If you have a good set of headphones on, you will hear there's just a little bit more energy and bass in the kick drum there, or sorry, in the bass line itself. So the next thing I'm going to do is bring in a compressor on the bass, and we're going to just try and duck that out of the way a little bit more whenever that kick hits. It doesn't have to be a lot. It can just be very, very subtle, just to duck the bass line out of the way a little bit better when the kick plays. So let's bring in a compressor, and we're going to side chain that again to the side chain at the top. So at the minute nothing's happening when I hit play, and the more I pull this down, the more it starts to duck. So let's have a... I'm going to over exaggerate it. So if I turn that compressor off, you should hear it being a little bit more straighter. You don't have that pumping effect anymore. I can actually push that up a little bit more too. Okay, happy enough for that. As I say, it's a basic mix down and master for today. We're still at that beginner level. We could do a whole other session on what a more professional mix down looks like, and what a more professional master looks like. But that's for further down the line. So let's have a look here. Let's bring in the percussion next. We'll bring it up, and what I'm going to do here, if I open that by hitting this and tab back, it opens the percussion underneath the group. I'm going to pop this back up to 0, which is the full volume of the group channel, and I'm going to bring these back down here. Okay, so what we're going to do is introduce these individual sounds and decide whether we're going to EQ them or pan them, or maybe put a splash of reverb on them. Okay, so let's start with the clap first of all. So this A here sends the reverb, or sends the dry signal over to this reverb unit here, which is A. So we can apply a little bit of reverb to that, see how it sounds. We'll over exaggerate that first of all. And then we'll just turn it off by hitting this button here to see if it actually adds anything. Let's add the hat. Let's pop an EQ on that hat as well. Okay, percussion loop. Let's drop an EQ on that as well. bongos. I'm just going to roll this one from the top down. And also cut off the low ends as well. As you can see, there's information in here. There's information in and around here that's not needed. And lastly, the open hat. So let's have a listen to that. Okay, so that's not there at this part of the track. So let's go back into the track and see where's the open hat there just below. So let's move it along a section here. And we will have a look here. So let's see. Drop an EQ on that and maybe just thin that out a little bit. And maybe just splash a bit of reverb in there as well. So I'm happy with the balance on the mix of those percussion sounds. We might move them a little bit more as the track progresses when more elements come in. But I'm going to apply a little bit of glue compression here just to gel all those sounds together. Not too much, just a couple of decibels. There is a glue compressor built into Ableton. So it's about 3 decibels there, and we're going to make that up again by putting 3 decibels back into it. So let's do it before and after. Just gels it together, brightens it up as well. So let's have a listen all together. Okay, so the next thing in line here is the crash. No, we'll bring the piano up actually, it would be more important than a crash. So let's have a listen to this. First of all on its own. I'm going to bring the level up here as well. Okay, let's play it all together and mix that in. And just something I would recommend doing. It's a little bit of a more advanced technique as you move along. As I say, we're only trying to get some sound out of Ableton at the very start. Something we could call our own track. But something to get used to would be go onto your main channel, your master, and pop on a utility just before the limiter. And what we're going to do is whilst it's playing, we're going to hit mono and we're going to turn mono off. Most club systems and phone speakers and things like that only have mono compatibility, and stereo is a more wider sound. So if you turn it on mono when you're playing and you can still hear all the elements clear and well enough, well then we're okay. But sometimes some of those wide sounds that you have, the likes of this piano or you know, pad strings can be wide, or something that you've panned maybe or over panned it. You know, whenever you hit mono, that would go quieter or disappear. So it's just something to consider, and then we go back and fix it if something really, really disappears. So let's have a listen. To me, that sounds perfect. There's no real difference at all. So let's drop an EQ in there. No, we've got it EQ'd already, actually. Happy enough with that. Let's see what other elements we have in here. So the vocal, let's have a listen to the vocal. I'm going to bring both of these up. If I click on a vocal and hold down control, click the one below, it will select both of them, and we can drag that up just underneath the piano, and we're sort of working our way down here. So let's go to the main vocal. I'm going to have a listen to there is a little bit of a dip in energy in the vocal. When it gets higher and higher, it actually sounds louder and louder as well. So I'm going to see if I can compress that down a little bit, so that the quietest parts become louder and the loudest parts become a little bit quieter, and they're closer together. So let's see if we can do that.
Move on straight, don't you turn around. I'm not gonna miss you when you're not around. Take or leave all the things we own. Memories of kindness are far away and gone, 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 gone. Take or leave all the things we own.
So I'm going to turn the compressor on and off in and around the stage where the vocal gets higher and higher. And you can see hopefully that that's taming down the higher peaks and bringing them a little bit lower and closer to the original vocal.
Move on straight, don't you turn around. I'm not gonna miss you when you're not around. Take or leave all the things we own. Memories of kindness are far away and gone, 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 gone. Take all.
That very last note was really, really high, and with this on, it doesn't sound as bad. It sort of brings it down. So let's see.
Don't you turn around. I'm not gonna miss you when you're not around.
Okay, there's a little delay vocal up here. I'm going to mix that in as well just to make sure it sounds good. So let's see. Okay, cool. Happy with that. So what will be next there? Let's bring the string up and mix those in now, and from there then we'll look at the effects. Just going to drop an EQ on that. Just tame it a little bit. Just takes that rumble out of it. I'm just wondering, will a sidechain help that string a little bit? So let's try it with the piano, and we'll bring a compressor in. And we'll sidechain it to the SC sidechain. We're just going to bring this threshold down, listen to it. Just something subtle. Okay, happy enough for that. Now we're going to bring in the crash. Actually, there's a tele vocal as well. Let's bring it in here. Which is sort of that heavily EQ'd vocal that sits in the background a little bit more. So let's mix that, and it just needs to be subtle. Okay, happy enough for that as well. Next thing is the crash. Let's drop an EQ8 on it. And there's a little reverse cymbal as well, so let's have a listen to that. It plays halfway across the break.
You shine like the sun.
Okay, now we're going to look at the snare build here. So we're just going to volume mix it first of all and see if we need to take any low end out of that.
You will know that I am strong, for your love betray me. Fool me into thinking that you wouldn't hide another lie. For your love betray me. Fool me into thinking that you wouldn't hide another lie.
Okay, happy with that. There's just a down sweep there, I think, at the end, which is this one. Okay, I'm happy enough with that. We could go into the percussion and just pan a couple of things left and right. Let's bring that over here for start. So let's have a listen. Okay, that hat could go a little bit to the left. Clap stays central. Let's have a listen to the question. Okay, and then the bongos could probably go a little bit to the right. And the hi-hat for the open hat down the middle. Okay. Just a little bit of panning there as well. Okay, so now for a quick master. First thing I want to do is... Actually, we'll just have a quick listen again with everything, make sure the mono works. Sounds fine. Let's go back to the master channel then. Okay. So, bit of glue compression first of all. And we're just looking for, 2 to 3 dB of gain reduction here. So I'm going to play it, pull the threshold back. And once I get 2 or 3 dB of gain reduction, then we'll make it up here. Going to turn the hi-hats up a little bit here, the open hat. Okay, from there, a little bit of saturation maybe. Okay, so we can experiment with these different shapes here and different drive amounts, and what we're looking for is just to warm up the sound itself. A little bit of saturation creates a little bit more harmonics within the mix, and once we get it, it's not essentially louder. It's warmer that we're looking for. Then we bring the dry wet back once we like the sound of it, and we'll mix it in subtly and just give it a little bit more of a boost. Okay, next thing I'll go through on here will be an EQ. EQ8. And I'm just looking for subtle boosts along here, just to maybe bring out some things that are hidden in the background a bit more, or maybe something that doesn't need to be there, can be ducked away. A little more presence, brightness, bass. I don't know. I'm just going to sweep across some of these frequencies, and see. They're very subtle changes, 2-3 decibels at most. Okay, I'm just going to throw another EQ8 over at the end of this, and I'm going to play a bit with the mid side. So I'm going to this where it says mode stereo and setting it to mid side. I'm only going to work on the sides, and what I'm hoping to do is lift the brighter elements and higher elements around the top, sort of from around, just before 1K right up, and lift those a little bit, and that should, push them out to the sides a little bit more. But once we do that, we'll check it again in mono just to make sure we haven't lost anything from the track. Okay, that sounds okay. And I'm going to put what's called a free clipper. This is free, you can go and download it. It's called Free Clip. I'm just going to pop it right at the very, very end. And what this will allow me to do is keep an eye on the spikes of the waveforms that are traveling through, and we're going to try and trim the top of those without creating any distortion, and that should give us a louder mix going into the limiter without having to squash it. So I'm going to set the sample, or the soft clip type, to Quintic, and push the oversampling up to about 16. And then we're just going to start pulling this down, and what you'll see below here is the wave will start passing through, and you'll see red, the red colour starting to be introduced into it, and that will mean that it's starting to move through the top of the clipper. If we push it too hard, you'll start to get distortion, but you just want to get that sweet spot where you might get a couple of decibels extra to make the track louder for commercial use. So let's hit play, and we'll start bringing that down. I will over exaggerate it so you can see that it does distort once you hit it too hard. Maybe a good time just to come back on your headphones a little bit as well. Just to explain to you what's happening here, I'll do a visual representation for you. I have a mastering limiter called Pro 2L. Pro L2, sorry. Okay, so I'll hit play and keep an eye on the spikes that travel through as I turn this free clip on and off. You will see that even though it doesn't sound different, it has clipped the top of those spikes that are peeking through down, and allows you to get more volume then out of the final export. So let's see. So I'm going to turn it back on again and watch how it drops down. So hopefully that's a visual representation as to what the clipper's actually doing. Oh, deleted the wrong one. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to group all these together. If I select the first one, which is free clip, and go back to the compressor and hold down shift and hit left click, you can sort of hit Control G, like on, you know, when you're creating groups in the actual arrangement window as well, and that'll group all those plugins together. And we'll play it for a couple of seconds and we'll turn it off and on, and you can see what this mastering chain is doing to the mix. Okay, cool. So happy enough with that. The last thing there is to do is just to turn the limiter gain up. We have clipped it a good bit there, so I'm going to say between, you know, when it goes between 0 and 6 would probably be enough. So you will have to be careful with your headphones here listening to this, because I am going to turn it up. Okay, happy enough with that. There is a free plugin out there as well called Uling Loudness Meter that I like to use. I just drag it on at the very end, and I'm going to hit play again, and what I'm looking for is what's called LUFS. So I'm going to hit the play button and show you. It ranges between -14 LUFS to, you know, -3 and -4 if you're talking about loudness with regards to Skrillex and some of those other DJs. But have a look at the genre that you like producing, and look what the average LUFS rating is, and that's the commercial loudness that you want to get in and around if you're going to release on record labels and sort of stand against, you know, other producers on Beatport. So let's hit play and see where we are roughly.
Take or leave all the things we owe. Memories of kindness are far away and gone, 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 gone. Move on straight, don't you turn around. I'm not gonna miss you when you're not around.
Okay, I am happy enough with that. We can take that out again. That's a free plugin. You should look at that, and also the free clip as well. Actually, I'll try and put the links to those in the description of the video. So anyway, there you have it. Over 3 videos now, we've gotten sound out of Ableton. We've taken a general idea of around 8 bars or whatever it may be, a theme of the track, and in the second video, we started to tell a story and create the arrangement of that track. And today we created a quick mix down and a simple master chain. And now all there is left to do is export your track, put it onto your USB pen, give it to your friends or DJ friends, or play it at home. So the last bit we would need to do then is, just go back to the arrangement view, is set the loop marker, the length of the track. I would actually leave it a little bit over at the end so that any sort of decays or tails are captured in the audio. So let's hear it. You can hear that tail dying off there. So that's perfect. All we need to do then is click on this bar here at the top, and it highlights everything inside the arrangement window. We go to File, Export Audio, and this export button down below. Just going to save it to my desktop. We'll call it Digital Groove Beginner brackets track, and hit save, and that will export out to your desktop. Okay, I think that's enough for today. I'm just going to let that export out to the desktop. I'll see you in the next video.